Hey everyone, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is Fish or Price Ranch. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Sarah with Fish or Price Ranch. First off, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So we have a a party every year, an annual party, and it originally was from a joke. And so anyway, it's kind of like a baby shower, but it's for our animals, and we actually feed everybody our animals. So it's a little twist to it. But anyway, so this year we are here's Brandon. He's shredding up goat meat. Say hi. Hi. So he's shredding up a bunch of our goat meat that we have cooked up. But this year we're going to be doing some barbecue, and so I wanted to make some homemade coleslaw. But we didn't have everything from the store, so I'm going to be making mayonnaise today. And so we're going to be using some of our farm fresh products, and I have a twist to the mayonnaise, so I thought I'd share that with you guys today. So let's get started. So I'll be doing a second video this evening of making the coleslaw, so make sure that you guys stay tuned. Alright, so the first ingredients in mayonnaise is eggs, and ignore my dirty one. Chickens were being dirty this week. They're so dirty. Anyway, so we're going to be making kind of bigger batches because I need a lot. So I'm going to be doing 2 eggs, but I'm going to be making 2 different types of mayonnaise. So we're going to be using 4 eggs today, so I'm going to crack these into our jars, and we'll get going. Alright, so we're doing the whole egg. Some mayonnaise just calls for part of the egg. So we've got 2 eggs in that jar. And 2 eggs in this jar. Alright, so next we're going to add, it calls for like a half a teaspoon of salt, but I just kind of eyeball it.
A pinch.
Alright, so we got salt in each one. And then next it calls for white vinegar, and we're doubling the recipe. It calls for 2 tablespoons. No, I'm sorry, I've already doubled it. So 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. So here's 1. 2, and then again on this one, 1, 2. Okay. And then next, it calls for mustard, and this actually gives the mayonnaise flavor. And so what I did is it calls for a Dijon mustard. So I have a Dijon mustard here. It's just a great value brand, really cheap. But I also saw this at the store and saw Southwest hot mustard, so that's why I'm making 2 different types. And so this just calls for 2 tablespoons of the mustard. So next we will be adding the Dijon mustard to one side. There's 1. 2. Okay. Alright, so now we have our hot mustard. And I know this kind of looks really gross at the moment. I'm going to show you guys. So that's what it looks like down in there. It looks pretty grody. So then lastly for this is our oil. And so we're going to add the oil in there, but it says to add the oil in slowly. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the oil, and then we have a little immersion blender or hand blender And we had an argument over this earlier when I had it brought in when we went and picked up the mail. I called it a hand blender. He called it an immersion blender. It says hand blender on the box, by the way, but it's the same thing. So anyway, we will be putting that down in there, and we were going to blend the eggs first, and then we'll slowly lift the blender and allow oil to be mixed in as well. So it's going to then eventually it'll turn straight to mayonnaise. It's really crazy. So let's get that going. All right, so now we have the oil. We need 2 cups of oil, and it calls for a light oil, but we'd like to do things differently. And we're going to be using olive oil, which is a healthier oil for you. It's a little bit thicker, but why not? So we're going to be adding 2 cups in each jar. And I'm going to add it in there kind of slowly. I don't want to stir up anything. It helps if I take the lid off. Thank you, Brandon, for telling me that I didn't take the lid off. Okay, here we go. Shush. All right, then we're going to add in the oil. Carefully. I know I'm not being very careful. Okay, and 1 more cup. When I first made mayonnaise for my very first time, this is only my second time making it, I thought I was doing it wrong because it was not turning to mayonnaise, but I was following a recipe, and I said to slowly add in the oil and keep mixing, and add in oil, keep mixing, and it just took forever. But then suddenly it made mayonnaise. But then I watched a video on how to do it, and the lady did it this way in a big measuring cup. So we're going to try it this way and see what happens. Alright, so there is our 2 cups of oil. Alright, you guys, so here is my little hand blender. I've never used one of these before, so alright, testing it out. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be the hot mayonnaise. So we're going to go all the way down to the eggs, and we're going to mix those first. And now we're going to be slowly lifting it and adding mayonnaise. Pretty easy. Okay, and now I'll do a quick rinse on this, and we'll do the other one. So now we're ready for this one. I'll move this guy over a little bit. And going all the way down to the eggs. This is what it looks like. Mayonnaise. Alright, you guys, so now we're going to be tasting our mayonnaise because I'm really curious. I know it's kind of hard to eat mayonnaise just by itself, but got a little taste. This is just the regular with the Dijon mustard. Tastes like mayonnaise. You can taste the mustard in it, so it's not like a traditional store mayonnaise, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty good. So now, I can get a new knife here, and we will taste the hot mayonnaise. I think I like that one better. It's kind of more of an aftertaste. You get a little bit of the spice to it, but not real spicy at all. Just enough of a hint. So great flavor. So this will conclude, let me just show you guys kind of what they look like side by side. So the spicy mustard is just a hair darker in color. than that one, but otherwise, this is what our mayonnaise looks like. So this will conclude the first part of our video. I will be doing another video this evening on making the coleslaw, and you guys won't want to miss that because it's going to be more homemade stuff that we're putting into the coleslaw that's got a little twist to it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you again really soon.